If you've ever felt confused, rushed, or even a little stressed about getting off a cruise ship, you're not alone. Debarkation day can feel overwhelming, especially when you're trying to figure out timing, luggage, transportation, and how to make the whole process smooth. Today, we're taking you through the full debarkation process on the Norwegian Cruise Line Bliss at the Los Angeles Cruise Port in San Pedro. And we are specifically focusing on priority disembarkation so you can see exactly how it works and how to take advantage of it. Whether this is your first cruise or your 10th, this guide will help you feel prepared, confident, and ready to end your cruise the right way.
Hi everyone, I'm Pat.
And I'm Kathy.
And we are Calm Sea Cruise. Now, debarkation day is different from every other day on your cruise. There is a shift in energy. The ship goes from a relaxed vacation mode to organized, consistent movement mode. Instead of planning what to do and where to eat and what shows to see, you are now thinking about luggage, timing, and getting off the ship efficiently. Now, one of the most important things to understand is that debarkation is not chaotic when you know the process, and it can be very structured. On the NCL Bliss, everything is scheduled and coordinated. Groups are called in order, and there are clear instructions provided the night before. If you follow the system, the experience can be surprisingly smooth. Now, priority debarkation makes the process even easier.
This option allows you to leave earlier, avoid large crowds, and move through the terminal faster. We're going to walk through exactly how that works and what it looked like for us in Los Angeles. And once you understand how everything flows, it really takes away the stress and helps you enjoy even your last morning on the ship.
Now, the day before debarkation is where everything really begins. This is when you receive your luggage tags and those instructions for leaving the ship. If you're using a standard luggage service, you will place your bags outside your cabin the night before at a certain time provided in the instructions. Now, this is usually sometime around 10, but it can be a little earlier or a little later. Those bags are collected and made ready to be offloaded from the ship in the morning. But if you're doing self-assist, you would keep your luggage with you. It gives you more control and allows you to leave earlier, but you will need to move your bags through the ship without any assistance at all. This is also the time to double check your timeline. Look at your assigned group, your meeting time, and any transportation plans that you have. Make sure everything lines up so you are not rushed in the morning.
Another important detail is packing your essential bag. Keep things like travel documents, medications, chargers, and anything you'll need for the morning easily accessible. Because once your main luggage is out of your cabin, you will not see it again until you're in the terminal. And this is also a great time to slow down and enjoy your last evening because the next morning moves quickly.
Okay, let's talk about that morning. Now, the morning of debarkation starts earlier than a typical cruise day. Announcements begin, and you'll start to feel the shift as guests prepare to leave. If you're in a priority group, you will usually leave at an earlier time window. That means you can get off the ship before the large crowds begin to form. One of the best strategies is to be ready before your group is called. Have your bags packed, your cabin checked, check it again,
Yep.
and have your documents ready. You want to be able to move as soon as your group is announced. Timing is everything on debarkation day. If you delay even a little, you can end up in the middle of a very long line and group of passengers.
Another tip is to give yourself a few extra minutes to leave your cabin. And as Pat said, check the room, because this last time we did not double check one of the drawers
We didn't double check?
and left some of my items. Darn. So hallways can get busy. Elevators can fill quickly. Definitely elevators. You could be waiting. A lot of times people are just carrying their, walking down the steps.
Or giving up.
Yeah. And the common areas can become crowded. So leaving just slightly ahead of the rush can make a big difference. And having everything ready ahead of time really helps the morning be calm instead of feeling rushed.
Okay, so let's talk about how you can solve that problem. Priority disembarkation. Now, priority disembarkation is one of the best ways to simplify your exit from the ship. This is typically available to guests staying in higher cabins, loyalty members of higher status, or those who have special access. With priority, you are among the first groups called to leave the ship. That means shorter lines, faster movement, and a much smoother experience. Instead of waiting in crowded lounges, you are moving through the process in a much more controlled and efficient way. On the NCL Bliss, the experience felt very organized from start to finish. Now, if you're staying in the Haven like we were, the experience just takes another level. On our cruise, we had plenty of time to get ready. We left our stateroom at almost 5 to 8, something like that. Made our way to breakfast in the Haven restaurant. Took that long walk, which took about 30 seconds to get to the restaurant. That alone made the morning feel completely different because instead of rushing, we were able to sit down and relax and really enjoy a quiet breakfast before leaving the ship.
Great.
Then at about 8:30, the Haven Concierge personally escorted us using one of those private elevators reserved for Haven guests. And this allowed us to bypass the busier public areas and move directly towards the exit in a very smooth and seamless way. From there, everything continued to flow quickly with very little waiting. Priority also pairs perfectly with self-assist luggage if you have that. Since you are carrying your own bag, you don't need to stop in the terminal to search for the luggage. You can simply continue moving forward and exiting the terminal with everything you have. When you combine the Haven access with priority disembarkation, the entire experience feels calm, organized, and very well taken care of.
And it really makes the whole process feel more relaxed and controlled instead of rushed.
Okay, so now it's time to really get off the ship. When your group is called, you'll make your way towards the gangway. This is where the flow becomes very structured. Crew members herd you through the process step by step. You will scan using your key card and you will officially be done with your cruise. From there, you move into the terminal area. Because we were in a priority group, the walk was smooth and continuous. There was no long stops or backups, which made quite a big difference. If you were using elevators, be prepared for some waits. Stairs are often faster if you're able to use them.
And another helpful tip is to stay aware of your surroundings. Passengers are moving in different directions. Staying alert helps keep everything flowing smoothly. And once you step off the ship, it really hits you that your cruise has come to an end. It's a very sad moment.
Yeah. All right, so it's time for Customs and Border Control. So after leaving the ship, you'll enter the main terminal for the customs process. This part has become incredibly fast compared to what it used to be. In our case, they used facial recognition technology, and I think that's I can't remember the last time we didn't have facial recognition. So you're simply going to walk through, stop for about 10 seconds, and your identity is verified very quickly. For priority guests, this process tends to move even faster because you are arriving ahead of the larger crowds. Now, if you have checked luggage, this is where you will need to locate it before exiting the terminal. One thing we noticed on our cruise is that the luggage was organized by the color of your tag, and rather than a number that other cruise lines will use. So it is important to know your color ahead of time because that will help you find your bags, much faster. Another detail to pay attention to is the flow of traffic. Once you enter the terminal, most passengers naturally follow the main flow, which leads directly towards security and the exit. But if you have checked luggage, you need to look for the designated open area that leads into the luggage section.
It's easy to miss and end up going the wrong direction. Once you have your luggage, you'll then head toward the security and exit area. We also noticed that when going through the final security lines, the line on the right was moving faster during our experience because more lanes were opened in that area. Of course, that can vary depending on the day and the ship, but it's something to keep your eye open as you're choosing the line. The key here is to stay aware, follow the signage, and make small adjustments that can save you time. Overall, this part of the process moved quickly and felt very organized.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the transportation that's available at the Los Angeles Cruise Port. So once you exit the terminal, you are now in the transportation area at the Los Angeles Cruise Port in San Pedro. This is where planning ahead really helps. You will see options for rideshare, taxis, shuttles, and private pickups, as well as a parking lot. If you're using rideshare, there is typically a designated area for pickup, and following the signs or asking the abundant port staff that are there will help you find it quickly. One thing to keep in mind is that this area can get busy later in the morning. But with priority disembarkation, you are arriving earlier, which usually means shorter wait times and more flexibility. On our cruise, we made it outside the cruise terminal right around 9 in the morning, which was not early anyways. Actually, it was kind of late. We had planned to take the Crowne Plaza Hotel shuttle back to pick up our car as we had drove on this cruise. But we just missed the one shuttle, so we had to wait for the next. So we ended up waiting about 30 minutes for the next one to come. And honestly, it turned out to be kind of a really nice part of the morning.
Yeah, we had the chance to talk with other cruisers while we're waiting, and it made the time go by quickly. We even met a couple who had their own YouTube channel, and they focused specifically on sailing on Norwegian Bliss and capturing the crew experience, which was really interesting to hear about. So even though there was a short wait, it ended up being a fun and unexpected way to connect with other people from the cruise. If you do have pre-arranged transportation like a shuttle, it's a good idea to double check the timing and have a backup plan just in case. That way, you're not feeling rushed if you miss one pickup window. And having a plan for transportation really makes the end of your cruise feel smooth and easy.
Okay, so we're going to spend a little time on something very specific, which is what we used, which is the Crowne Plaza Hotel's cruise package, which is a stay and park package that you can stay the night before the cruise and then park your car there and pick it up after the cruise. So after taking that 9:30 shuttle, we arrived back at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in just a couple of minutes. This was a very common option for using that park and cruise package, and overall it was really pretty convenient, but there are a few things to be aware of. Once we got there, we quickly realized that there was a long valet line.
Yes.
And it ended up taking almost an hour to actually get our car. So even though the shuttle ride itself was easy, the wait at the hotel added a significant amount of time to the process. Now this could completely vary if on your cruise it could take no time at all. So one tip that can really help you here is to move quickly once you exit the shuttle. Go directly to the valet line as soon as you arrive. Even a few minutes can make a big difference in how long you are waiting.
And another tip is to ask the valet if you can walk with them to retrieve your car. In some cases, this can allow you to leave a little faster since you're already there and ready to go. This works best if your car is easy to access, if it's not blocked in or double parked or even triple parked in the garage. The garage is a smaller garage, so you'll be able to get on the road much sooner. But of course, it depends on how the cars are arranged that day, but it's worth asking. These are small details, but they can really impact how smooth your final travel day feels.
Okay, so let's talk about some common mistakes and how to avoid them. There are a few mistakes that you can make in debarkation, which will make it more stressful than it needs to be. One of the biggest is waiting too long to get ready in the morning. If you are not prepared when your group is called, you can miss that early window. Another mistake is not understanding your luggage plan. Make sure you know whether you are using self-assist or checked luggage. Confusion here can slow you down significantly or leave you with having to schlep your own bags though, when you didn't really plan on doing that. Overpacking your carry-on is another issue. If you're carrying your own bags, you want to have them be manageable. Trying to navigate crowded areas with heavy or bulky luggage can be very challenging.
Well, and didn't the concierge say that one person didn't know the night before that you're supposed to put the luggage outside the room,
Yeah.
right?
Make sure you read your instructions.
Yes. And another mistake that we experienced firsthand is relying too much on the weather forecast before your cruise.
Yeah.
Before our trip, we checked the weather and it showed sunny conditions, so we did not pack any rain gear. But on debarkation day, it was raining, and that made things a little more uncomfortable as we were moving through the terminal. Well, not through, but outside the terminal, waiting for our transportation. So one tip is to always be prepared for changing weather, especially on embarkation and debarkation days. Having a light rain jacket or even a small umbrella can make a big difference.
All right, so here's some final thoughts about the debarkation experience. Overall, debarkation on the Bliss from Los Angeles can be a very smooth experience, especially if you have priority disembarkation. From leaving the cabin to stepping off the ship and into transportation, everything can move quickly and efficiently when you are prepared. The key is understanding the process, planning ahead, and staying ready. And one thing you really need to pack here is your patience.
That is true.
It'll happen. It'll be okay. Priority access adds an extra layer of ease that can save time and reduce that stress. It allows you to end your cruise on a positive note instead of feeling rushed or overwhelmed. And that is exactly what you want after a great cruise vacation.
Yeah, we hope this guide helps you feel more confident and prepared for your debarkation day on the Norwegian Bliss. If you have any questions or tips from your own experience, we'd love to hear them in the comments. And we'd love to hear from you. What is your biggest concern or questions about debarkation day? Your insight can really help other cruisers as they plan their trips.
And if you found this video helpful in any way, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel for more cruise tips, guides, and reviews just like this. Thank you so much for spending time with us, and until the next time, we'll see you on the next video.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.